Okay, so we are back and we discussed the Jupyter Notebook, and I would like to show you a couple of examples I had from earlier with this Jupyter Notebook. So you might see that we are in the slides project in the Python examples and the Jupyter folder. So next to the TK folder, the TK folder is just next to us. Okay, same place. You can clone it. If you clone the repository, you will get all of these. Now I would like, and here you have, there's lots of notebooks, and I would like to look at some of them to see what kind of things can we learn from them to improve our use of Jupyter Notebook. Now, if I go back to the Jupyter lab that we have, you can see that I could look at the various files in this folder, but I can't go up from this. So I can't travel to other places in the file system. This is a way of protecting your computer, your data from anyone who might access it from the internet, even if you allow accessing this Jupyter Notebook from the internet, you would want it the people to be limited to a certain folder. So I'm going to turn off this Jupyter Notebook now, and I'm going to close this one, and I come back and I close it with Control-C, shut down. Yeah, I would like to shut down. Okay, it's shutting down. It's done. Okay, so what the Jupyter Notebook did, or the lab in general, that it limited the access of anyone from the Jupyter Notebook to this folder where I started. So in our case, the day 08 folder. If I went one folder up and started the Jupyter lab here, okay, I'll just show you how it looks. Okay, then I would be able to see all the folders. I won't be able to go up from here, so I won't be able to escape and go to other places in the disk, but I can go into the day 08 folder, for example, where we have the Jupyter Notebook, or I can come back and go to the day 05, where we have only Python files, and so on. So I'm shutting this down again because we don't really need this, okay? So in order to run, to be able to access the Jupyter notebooks in this other folder, I had to come here and start Jupyter notebook here. So Jupyter, and I can start it with Jupyter. I'm starting the lab, doesn't matter. Okay, so theoretically or technically, you could run several of them on your computer. So one in this folder and one in that folder. That would be also possible, but there's no real reason for doing that. Okay, so it tells me it's ready, and there are all kind of examples here. Let me see which ones are interesting. So let's start with this ed. Probably it's not that interesting. It's just showing you how to use the ed file. Okay, so I'm closing this one. Save. Okay, no, I don't want to save. I don't know what did it change. I guess it updated the date. I don't know. Let's see if we can change this one. So I can enlarge it. Oh, nice. So this way I can say, now I don't want to see this one. Show file size column. Show last modified column. Oh, nicer. Okay, so I can show only the columns, and then I can see the files. I would probably even ask it not to show me the extensions, but that should be show file, checkboxes. Oh, even less, so I can even have more screen space. Nice. Okay, so but I ordered it in the, yeah, okay, add. Create image with NumPy. Okay, that's now jumping into something very other place. Genes. Let's see which one. What does this do? Okay, I'm not sure. Okay, so here's Here's an example where it's not working properly, or it might be, we'll see. So in order to do this example, we needed to import pandas. Okay, we haven't learned about it, pandas, but we might be a good opportunity to start learning about it. And NumPy. And in both cases, we imported it and says as something else. Now, I don't think that we have seen it earlier, but this is basically because we are lazy, okay? So if you just say import pandas, then every place you want to refer to this pandas library, you will have to write pandas dot something. But we are lazy. So instead of that, we say import pandas as pd. So we have an alias, a nickname for this library. So now we can say pd dot something. And it's a good thing to be lazy. I'm not saying it's not negative. It's just what it is. So it's quite standard actually to shorten pandas to pd and to shorten numpy to np. So you will see that a lot. Okay, so we can load them. Control Enter. Let's see. Okay, they are installed. If not, if you don't have them installed, then install them. Okay, so pip install pandas and numpy. Okay. The next thing is, in using pandas, we are going to read in an Excel file. Now, before I go and execute this one, I wanted to show you this one. This is going to be the output of the code df head, but it was already saved. So when I created this notebook and executed the code and so on, then I actually and then saved it into, or version control, then I saved it in with the data, which is, as I mentioned earlier in the previous hour, it's useful now because we don't need to even execute the code. We already see the data, okay? On the other hand, it means that the whole file is much bigger. So let me check this one. Actually, how can I see the size? I'll need to, I'm going to open a new window here. Genes. Okay, so it's not huge. Okay, it's just 10 kilobytes. That's not that big. Okay, but let me open it with genes this way. So you can see this is the line where we are reading the Excel file, and here is somewhere the data. Okay, so all the data is saved here. Not apparently it's not a lot of data, but it's all there. So this would read in this Excel file and something indexing some columns. Okay, we'll see that. And put it into this variable. We call it df because it stands for data frame. Okay, so that's what the quite standard to call this df. And then this is basically the representation of all the Excel file that we have here. Actually, not the whole Excel file, because it only reads the first sheet. You remember we used the OpenPyXL, and I said back then OpenPyXL can access any of the sheets, and it can access both the data and the formatting and also stuff things. As far as I know, or as far as I at least used, Pandas only cares about the first sheet and only cares about the data. Maybe maybe it can do more. I don't know. I've never tried. Okay, so this one says, okay, just read the Excel file and represent it into this data frame. And now I can interrogate the content. So I can say df head, and it will show the first few rows from that Excel file. Okay, and then we have more stuff here, but let's see if it works. Now it's a problematic, as I mentioned, that I've hard-coded it, but it's relative to where I am, and because I use it as for slides and so on, probably I saved that Excel file. Let's see if I actually saved it. No. What does it say? Okay, it says it's at the bottom is the error message. Okay, no such file or directory. Okay, lovely. Maybe let's see where is it. So raw data. It's not here. It's not here. No. I don't know where is this raw data. This is the name of the file. Find. Yeah. So here you can see the problem that I use some file and it's gone. I don't know where my data file is, and it was hard coded, so I can't show it to you. And you get a nasty error message. But this was the data in it. Okay. And then I had these functions. Okay, so this is just the Python function that is receiving a data frame and then accessing some data, and we'll have to look at some other example. Okay, and I'll have to take a note for myself to either figure out where is this file from, the raw data 20,000 or 200,000 or whatever it is, and then save it back. Okay, let's try another one. Okay, so apparently in order to, okay, something else I forgot to show you, and this one has it, so it's good. This one is just plain text. And if I click here, this is code that we saw earlier, importing some libraries. Now, when I clicked here, at the top, you can see that it says code here. When I click on this one, it says it's Markdown. Actually, I can escape it. It says Markdown. So basically, what we can do here, let me run this now. The cells that we are writing can be marked as either being code or Markdown, or I don't know, raw, or whatever it is, I don't know. Okay, so they can be marked of what kind of data is in there. And if it's code, then it's fine. That's what the most of it, I guess. But you can also add Markdown, the same thing that we use for the README file, for the website, the same, more or less, I guess, the same format. I'm not sure if it's the same flavor of Markdown, but the majority of the things you can use. And here, so if I click on this one and I try to edit it, you can see that the three backticks and the text, and here you can see a link and so on. And when I execute it using the rectangular or arrow, whatever it is, or with Control Enter, then it formats the Markdown. And now we have a link, and now we have verbatim code, and so on. So you can add more text. Here you can see it has also Markdown. So you can click on this one. This is also Markdown, and it's just capital letters. I press Enter to edit it, and you can see 3 hash marks. It basically means it's a title. Okay. I don't know if I can turn it. How can I run it? Okay, I have to run it. Yeah, so this is what we have here. So let's see what's in the IP widgets. Okay, I could load. Apparently, it was installed. I can install. Oh, this is a nice thing. So here I have a function. Okay, and the function will. So this will allow me to create these widgets, these things that allow the user to play with the data. For example, this one created a slider, okay, integer value slider. So we have this is the interact is a function from IP widgets, and it says, okay, there is this function. And I would like to call the function with various input x values. And you can control with this interactive thing, you can create this slider, and wherever you pull the slider, it will call the function f, okay? And the result is displayed here. So you can see, you can play with this. And of course, this is a very simple function, so that's not very interesting. but what happened here? I don't know. Okay, so you can use the slider, and you can also use it for more complex things, and then you get the results here. What is this? Here we have the X. Right, so this one, we just provided a default value to X. Okay, so when I run this, it will put it onto 10, and the actual range was decided by the IP widgets. In this one, I actually told it what is the range. Okay, minimum, maximum, what are the steps, and what is the default value, I guess. This is the value. Okay, so you can say this one. Checkboxes. Okay, because this one is returning something which is a Boolean, it created a checkbox, which is either on or off. So it's either true or false. Okay, and the default is true, so it's checked. And what it returns actually is the not Y, so the opposite of it. But this is just a plain example, but you could use it for some more complex thing. Let me try in here, this one, combine slider and Boolean checkbox. Okay, so this one, I have a function slightly more complex with stupidly named variables X and Y. I should rename them to make them more acceptable to Gabor, okay? Or in general, to be more self-explanatory. But it says if Y, so if this is true, then return the X, otherwise return the minus X. So we could call it absolute or something like this. And so the interactive is called with this more function, again, bad name, a default value to X and a default value to Y. And we have two things here. And now I can, if I click on the checkbox and turn it off, then now is the negative value. Here it is the positive value. Yeah, it's not the absolute, it's just multiply by minus. Text input. Hello, foo. Okay, as you can see, every time I changed it, it automatically calls the function and then displays it. Okay, this one is just one of them has a slider, the other one doesn't. A widget. Okay, so this one has created a drop-down widget. Okay, remember the widget name. So now we are building a Jupyter notebook that can be much better. You can hand it to someone, and they don't necessarily have to edit. Can we even lock it down? I don't know if you can lock down a Jupyter notebook. Maybe you can. So you could, now the user could just use the various, the external input methods to provide data, provide input to your program. And I don't know what else are here. Let's try to see this. Number value. So this is just from there. This is again int slider. It's just a different way of creating that slider. I don't know, what is this? Float slider. Okay, so you can play with floating point numbers. Okay, I guess you'll have to somehow control the precision of this float slider. I don't know. It was just an experimenting with this. And then this one is a range slider. Okay, so you can select a range of values. Nice. Okay, I guess there are more. and I used this Jupyter Notebook to experiment with them. You're welcome to send me more ideas what to show in this Jupyter Note in this IP with the IP widgets. If you have any questions with them, specific ones, or how to do something, we can explore it here now. Okay, so this one is just showing you the Markdown, all kind of things with Markdown. Okay, you don't really need this anymore because you already know how to use Markdown because you created the website. But this is just an experimenting how to write. I mean, it can be useful because you see all kind of things in one place, and then you can use the same. Probably you can use the same ideas, the same formatting in your website as well. Okay. Wait a second. We have a file chooser here. Okay, I have to install it. Actually, I could put here, I probably will now. I can put this one here. Let's try this one. Yeah. Okay. So if you put here an exclamation mark in the Jupyter Notebook, it's not Python, it's Jupyter Notebook, okay? Then you can put whatever you put after it, it's actually executed outside of Jupyter Notebook, as if it was executing on your computer, on your command line. So you can even include, so here I included the instructions, but I could even actually include the actual command, so you can install. I don't want the output anymore. No, this wasn't what I wanted. Beep. Yeah. Okay. I wanted to install this. Okay, now I want to remove this one, delete this cell, insert cell below. I wanted to just delete the collapse output. Okay. I wanted to just delete the output. I don't know if I can. How can I delete the output? Is there a way to delete the output or just the cell? Clear cell output. Okay, fine. Okay, so because I don't really need to see the output of the specifically that command. So you can
also in
Sorry?
edit, you can also remove, if you in edit, there should be a command to remove all outputs from all cells if you have a lot of outputs that you want to remove together.
Yeah, I'm quite sure that, where is it? Somewhere.
In edit, under edit.
And edit.
I believe, yeah. Clear outputs of all cells, the third from the bottom.
Okay, thank you. So you can see, I mean, there are lots of things that you can learn, and the more you use it, the better you will find it. And the one thing that I would really recommend, that because this is, in my experience, that's one of the best ways to learn things, is to work together, because you will see the other person, like physically look at each other's screen, because you will see the other person do all kind of stuff that for them, it's just basic thing, they do it all the time, and you have never heard about it, okay? And vice versa. So I know I work with people, and I have been using this via Vim like 30 years now already, I think, and there are so many things that I still don't know, and then I see some other person using it, and they're doing something fancy thing that, oh, just with two or three pressing on the button, they can accomplish something. And this is something that you probably can never really teach or learn, because I definitely won't be able to go over all the menu items here, even if I knew them. Okay, that would be extremely boring for everyone, and useless because you wouldn't remember. But if you work together and you will see how the other person, the special thing that the other person does, and then probably those are the interesting ones. And that's how you can learn a lot of these things. And I don't know, probably there it has a name, I just call it accidental learning, but probably it has some more official way. Okay, so here I just imported two things, whatever, it just gives me the current working directory, so where the Jupyter Notebooks is, and then I can use this file chooser, okay? Here, nice, okay, so the one that we had, the Chachar had with the, I don't know, but that should be a directory chooser. I have no idea. Maybe there is one, because this one is expected to choose a file. If I select this one, I don't know. Yeah, okay. It can also choose a directory. Okay, so this one I called. I display this one displayed the actually chooser, I think. And then this is the way to access the actually various parts of it. So if I change this one and I select, let's say, this CSV file, and then I run, of course, I have to run these ones. And then this is, so the selected path, that's the name of the folder, the file, full path to the file, and just the name of the file. Okay, for various tasks, you might need various things. So that's
what is the OS function, OS get CWD?
Sorry?
You have OS get CWD and you have OS path director name. What are these functions? What do they do?
Okay, so
the file chooser opens the window to choose. What are those functions?
if you
I'm saying the file chooser opens the window to choose the file, but what are the two OS functions? What do they do?
So basically, I think, okay, so here, oh, sorry, the file chooser needs to know where to open the file chooser, okay, on your computer. Okay, so which folder to show. Okay, I could put here, you would maybe put here user Shachar, right? Shachar. I think you spell it this way. Okay, or with a C somewhere.
No C.
You see, okay. So so maybe you would put in something like this, of course, with backticks, okay, on your computer, okay. But the problem with this, and then if I click on, then it will try to open the C user Shachar, okay. But if you give this folder, you give it to me, then I have nothing to do with it because I don't have that folder. I don't even have a C on my computer, okay. So what these things do. Let me show. So the OS get CWD will return what is the current working directory. And basically, because you are in Jupyter Notebook, this will show you the folder where you started the Jupyter Notebook. So if you recall, I started it in this folder, in this one, another window, but you can't go. Yeah. So I see I changed directory to this folder, which happens to be called Jupyter, but just because it's because of my organization. Okay, for you, it will be probably, I don't know, whatever biological thing you research or whatever research you do, maybe that, or it will be your home directory, whatever. But that's the current working directory. Okay, you could, and this is how Python allows me to get where I am. Okay, and then the next thing that I used is the get path dir name would take the name of the folder. So let's copy this one. No, okay, let's. OS path. You see, it nicely gives me and dir name, right? Dir name. And then I take the OS get CWD, and this one returns one folder up, basically. So the parent folder. Okay? This one returned the place where I am, and this one returns the folder one up. Now you could also see, let's see, Python get home directory. So this is something that maybe is different from Windows. So here's a whole discussion in Windows. Home user for initial. I'm not sure if it works. Okay. So this tilde, I'm not sure if it works on Windows. The tilde, I can't speak and type. This tilde is the representation, or it refers to the home directory of the current user on Linux and Mac. So this if I go here, let's say on my command line and say tilde, that will be my home directory. Okay, so this is my home directory. Now you can see all my private folders. None of them are interesting, actually. I'm not sure now. I'm not sure if and that tilde on the CMD of Windows doesn't work. But maybe, I'm not sure, and you can try it now if you're using Windows. Maybe this one, this construct from Python works. So theoretically, this should be my home directory. Let's see if it works. So this way, it will open the selector on my home directory. You see? This is my home directory. The same thing that it showed you from the command line. Now, I'm not sure that this is actually working on Windows. So I would be happy if some of you tried it and let me know. I put this whole thing into our repository as well, or at least I put links there. Okay, did I manage to explain this one?
Yes.
Okay. In general, this OS pass has various methods like dirname and base name. Base name would give you only the file name. So you give it a pass with folders at the end, a name of a file. And base name would give you just the name of the file. And dirname would give you everything except of the last part. And it doesn't matter if it's... So the base name would give you the last part, and dirname would be everything except of the last part. And you have this all kind of ways of manipulating paths, and those are independent from the operating system. So you would, even if you give that something with the backslashes, like you do it in Windows, this should work. Okay, let me try something which is relatively short. Let me try this one. Okay. Nice. Okay, black window, black image. Let's run this whole thing. Kernel. No, run all cells. Okay. So it just executed all the cells. So let me explain what do we see here. So we imported the NumPy as NP, and there is a library called matplotlib that comes with all kinds of tools. One of them is the pyplot. And we call it PLT because, again, we don't want to type in this whole thing because we are lazy, and that's good. And what we are going to do now is creating just an image using these things. Now, you know that before that, actually. Yeah, so you know, okay, now I have to tell it. You know that every image, every color, okay, can be represented by three numbers. It can be four, but usually, but basic is three numbers. The power of I mean, you can represent them by using the three basic colors: red, green, and blue. And the color wheel, and I think we saw this already. So you can use these color wheels and then pick some color, and then you would get the three values in hexadecimal format. So this is C1, the red, AD is the green, and 3E is the blue. And if I go full red here, you will see that the other two are pretty low numbers now. And so the F7, that's sort of the high, and then this is 0, and this is 1, 2. And if I go to the pretty green, then you see that the middle two values are the high values, and the others are lower values. So, and if I type in 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, okay, so that's guess it's black. If I put here FF, that's blue, okay? So they go from 0, 0 till FF in hexadecimal. So instead of 0 till 9, after you also have, after 9, you have A, B, C, D, E, F. And that's how you can represent numbers basically between 0 and 255. So each color, whatever in the world, basically you can be represented by these three numbers. And this is a way to pick a color. Wonderful. Now back to our Jupyter notebook. So we are going to create now an image that has 32 pixels. So it's rectangle, of course, 32 pixels wide and 32 pixels high. Okay, so it's 32. But each pixel has three values for red, green, and blue in order to represent the color. So basically we have a three-dimensional box, okay? Okay, think about it, three matrices of 32 on 32. One for the red, one for the green, one for the blue. And basically, but these three matrices were put together. So now we have sort of a, what is that? It's not a cube. It's a, I don't know the name of in English. It's like a rectangle cube. Okay, so well, a cube that not all the sides are equal. Someone will come up with a name, please, or I will have to find it. Okay, so this is how I created with NumPy a matrix of 3 dimensions, and I even told it that the value in them are uint8. Wow, lots of things we haven't explained. So earlier we talked about Python knowing about integers and floating point numbers, and I didn't care much about the rest. NumPy goes a lot more in detail, and NumPy, you have to decide, or NumPy will decide for you, how much space to use for each integer number. So instead of having just integer numbers in NumPy, you can have integer numbers that are small ones. So they are only using 8-bit information, meaning that you can have them values can be between 0 and 255, or you can have 16-bit, then meaning 0 till a lot more, 65,000 something, and so on. And you probably don't have to think about it because NumPy can decide for you and give you some default value, okay? So in many cases, you don't have to think about it. But in this case, I did have to think about it, and this have to say it's an 8-bit, because I know that these values must be between 0 till 255, because we are talking about this kind of representation of colors. Okay, so I created, and this is a matrix of 3-dimensional matrix. I could even ask this thing, which I called the object, what is its shape? And it tells me, okay, its shape is 32 on 32 on 3. And I can ask now, so now this matrix, this is just a matrix with numbers in it, okay? And zeros, all of them are zeros because that's the default. So if you go back to the color wheel, you remember I set 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, actually, okay? And it showed here you can, oh, now the background is the actual color. So it's blue, it's black, okay? Oh, please don't, these pop-ups, okay? So this is black. Here you can also see this thing, it's black. So this is what you can see here, because the matrix by default is all full of zeros, because I told it to use lots of zeros, okay? And for every pixel, every color, red, green, and blue are zeros, meaning every pixel is going to be black if you're looking at it as an image. Okay? On the computer, you have a PNG file or a JPG file, okay? Images. Behind the scene, they are basically just huge matrices, three-dimensional matrices. For each pixel, telling you exactly what are the red, green, and blue values. And then the program that can show you the picture basically understands these matrices and can show you the nice picture. Okay? Well, each one has some, both PNG and JPG has some extra or how to make it smaller and whatever. But this is the general idea that it's basically a matrix. So this PLT image show, IM show, will show the matrix as an image. Not very exciting. This command will set every field to be 255. Okay, so we have now 32 times 32 times 3 numbers. This one sets all of them to 255, which is the same as FF. So in hexadecimal, you would, I don't know if I can write it decimal. No, this represents 255, 255, 255 for each 3 values. And it's white. So this happened here. I put them all 255, now it's white. So now I took a range, basically saying, okay, row 10 to 12, column 10 to 12, and the depth, all 3, okay? All 3 values, all 3 colors. And I told it to give these 3 values. So for each pixel in this area, the 10 to 12, I'd give them 10, 80, and 255, which became this bluish color. So it's red, green, blue. The blue is very powerful. It's 55. This is, let me put it now, 0. Okay? This is because I started. Okay, let's start it again. Okay, it's white. Now I put in the blue. Okay, just the blue. Okay, now it's purple-ish. I put the 0 here. This is very blue. Okay, this is the real blue. If I put here 255 as well, now I have red and blue, which is this color. And then if I play with this, you can play with this. I can put it 100, and then we get this color. I can put here 255, let's say, then this color. Okay, you can play with this. And then I took the same image and some other range, some other values. And now we have these 2 boxes. And then I gave it another one. And now this is not a square anymore. This is more a rectangular. rectangle with a green color, greenish, red, green, blue. It's a lot of green and some blue. Okay. And this is how I created an image. And you could, and probably there is somewhere, load image using OpenCV. Okay. Okay, I have to find that. Probably the image is not there. I have to store the image. I'm quite sure that image is gone. No, it's not gone. Good. So this is just an image of Quetzal the tiger, and I can show the image. And this is Quetzal the tiger. This is the cat of my sister, and this one added a red line here. Okay, so basically, with this one, with these examples, you can take a picture. No, so you have a picture, an image somewhere, not just you took it. You have this picture. You can load it into a matrix, into the memory as a matrix. Here I printed out. It's a NumPy array. I can ask it to show you these are the numbers representing that tiger or cat, actually. It thinks it's a tiger. And then you can start manipulating it. Let's say drawing in something on it, or finding out what are the colors in different places, and so on. And then you can plot it, or you can, I don't have it here, but you can save it now. And then you're not surprised why it's so angry with that red line. You should put a red dot here, and we guess for the cat. Anyway, any questions in the remaining 2 minutes? No?
Can you repeat?
Yeah, I can hear you.
No, I didn't hear what you asked.
I asked if you have any questions.
No.
Okay, so I let you go early today, like a minute early. I'll collect these files that I played with here, and I link to them at least from our README file, and then I will add the new assignment for today. I'll have to figure out something. We learned all kind of other interesting things with images, so maybe you'll play with images. Right. So thank you for watching. Please like the videos. Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.